What up, though, everybody? This is Allen and Eve. Today, we're going to be talking about love without abuse and how to respond to a disrespectful partner. Now, last video, we talked about when the family is disrespecting your partner, how to handle that. And we're going to link it up here somewhere, whatever. It's going to be up there or in the description. But this scenario is when the partner is being very disrespectful to the family. And I'm pretty sure somebody been through something like this. And you maybe don't know how to handle it. Maybe you're just sitting there and it's going off, you're not saying nothing. I believe if it gets to a high level of they're cussing them out, they're stepping over a line or going past a line of very high of disrespect, you step in as a spouse and you correct them right there. You say, hey, I'm not about to sit here while you cuss out my mother or my father. You're not going to use vulgar language in front of them. And that's how we're going to leave it. Like, hey, you need to chill.
I think that you should address it before it gets to a high level, because before it gets to the high level, it's already those little subtle things that somebody is saying that should be corrected right away. So I think that I don't care how little it is. I think it should be addressed. You should say something. We not doing that, or however somebody see fit to present it. But I don't think they should wait to get to that high level that you're talking about, because that means it was steps to even get to that point where you felt like you could even go get to that point with somebody's parent or family member.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully, they had the conversation before. I mean, after that, like after the matter, that they had a private conversation at home or something, and say, hey, that was very disrespectful what you said. I didn't like such comment. That was pretty rude. Like you went in there very disrespectful. Now.
But I think that you know your spouse. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody is already agitated, I don't think it just goes like everybody's having a good day, y'all having a good day, y'all get there, and then something just snapping the person, and now they just rude. I feel like it's a buildup of something.
Maybe
I feel like it's already not even a drink. Somebody could be sober and that's just they feel some type of way about your family for whatever reason. They lying on your family. They're making up stuff. Maybe they don't have a good relationship with their own family, and now they trying to jeopardize yours. Maybe they trying to separate you from your family because they don't like that you close to your sisters, and they don't like the relationship you have. It could be tons of different situations where somebody just feel like compromising that relationship.
Right. But definitely, I think the appropriate thing is just not to let it get to the point where yelling and screaming and fights are about to be broken out over a situation. And we're saying that this could happen. This is pretty popular, and there are probably a lot of marriages that the family and the spouse are getting into it. Mm-hmm. Or the spouse somehow don't like that the parent is always in their business or always involving themselves with 9 out of 10 the kids or involving themselves and the
but
family.
that still doesn't excuse disrespect. I mean, even if somebody is overstepping boundaries, you don't just jump straight to disrespecting somebody. That's a conversation that needs to be had. So to me, just putting it out there for the people who feel like, yeah, somebody need to mind their business. That's cool. People do need to mind their business, but it should never be like a disrespectful approach to solving that. That's not going to get anywhere.
No, it shouldn't. Nobody should be disrespecting anybody's family member at all, raising their voice. Then they're going to get to the point where, you have to say something and you have to separate each other.
And to me, I don't think that people should just, in those situations, I don't think, we got two different perspectives here. Right. I don't believe people should just let go of their family members because they spouse disrespectful. The spouse is the issue. It's a known issue. Like, the family hasn't done anything. Like, they haven't done anything. The spouse just, for whatever the spouse's reason is, don't want to be bothered with the family, or they're causing confusion in the family situation,
Right.
I don't think that people should just cut off their family for that. That's just my take on it. It just, everybody's situation is different. No, I don't think that you should just separate yourself and cut off your mom, your family, for somebody that just don't want to be bothered with your family. I think that you should just go by yourself. Go by yourself. Maintain the two separate relationships. Now, I understand that will be problematic because the wife or the husband is going to be like, it's going to always maybe be right. You choosing them, but I don't know. Ultimately, they might have to cut them off, but I'm just saying I don't think you should.
If y'all can come to an agreement, maybe that's the first option. Hey, since you don't want to go, I'm going to go to the family events. Try that and see what happens. That could work, maybe. But then you got the problem with bringing the kids in now. Because, grandparents might want to, or family, aunties, uncles might want to see the kid. And the spouse or husband and wife they're not going to allow the kids to
because
go.
For me,
or some people will. Some people like, take the kid.
Well, for me, if me and the adults don't get along or they don't like me, I'm not sending my kids around people that don't like me. I don't care family or not. Right. That's just me. And maybe it's some people out there that say they cool with that. But for me personally, if we as the adults cannot communicate and have a healthy relationship and not a toxic one, not a disrespectful one, I don't want my children, because realistically they're gonna be in and out of that person's life. Let's be honest. As soon as somebody do something to my child I don't like or says something and my child come back and tell me, guess what? They out of their life. So it's gonna be, double dutching in there. You know what I mean? So it's, for me, it's better if we can't communicate as an adult, I'm not gonna throw my children in the middle of an adult's mess. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna try to serve and protect them in the best way I see fit. It's not that I don't want people to have a relationship with my children. It's just that I think that that's, for me, the safest thing to do to protect my children of not being in and out of somebody's life.
Right. And this could happen before y'all get married or anything like that. This is something y'all need to talk about and see in people's family or not, because this become an issue in people's marriage they didn't think about. They didn't realize that now, somebody family member can't see the grandkids or nieces, nephews. They can't come around.
I do want to point out too, because it's a lot of people too that don't want their children going around, because again, here we bringing up the blended families. One child is being treated differently than the other children. The other children are being affected by going over there, and that's just a big mess. That's another reason why you would not let your children go. If your child is being negatively affected by seeing someone else being treated differently, then pull your child out right away. If you see it one time, why would you continue to allow that to happen? Common sense tells me that you don't treat people differently. You don't treat children differently, but common sense may not be common in a lot of different areas for people. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. But if the spouse is being disrespectful to the family, pray that it doesn't happen to y'all. Pray that you can resolve this issue. That you don't have to remove yourself from your family.
But I think that if you pray and it remains the same, be at peace with that. Right. Understand that was God's decision. Understand that God didn't change it for a reason, and that's okay. Like, don't continue to try to force something that is just not, that's just not it. And like you said, you did make a good point about, working on the marriage, working on why the spouse is disrespecting the family. Of course, it's some type of deep-rooted issue there.
Right. And so we can have a conversation. We can talk about this because, what is the problem? Why don't you like my family? Why you have to be rude and disrespectful to my family?
And either way,
there should be boundaries.
I guess I do agree with you now that I'm thinking about it more, because it's even protecting your family in a way from that disrespect. That same disrespect that you don't want your spouse to feel is the same disrespect you don't want your family to have to endure with trying to just separating yourself and working on your marriage to see what's going on with your spouse. So I do agree with you.
Yeah, my stance is choosing your spouse. Pray to God that you found the right spouse, and they're not doing this on purpose. We pray to God that does not.
It's a lot of people
Or
out
you
here
gotta
doing it on
take
purpose.
You gotta take different steps where you gotta have to separate yourself from that spouse. Not divorce, but separate yourself and pray that y'all have healing and counseling over y'all marriage to work through that. But picking your spouse, separating family and spouse away from each other. And you have to tell your family, hey, I have to work on my marriage.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't do nothing, but I'm sorry that we have to go through this. I love you and I miss y'all. And I'm going to work through my marriage because this is what God is calling me to do.
Okay, so if
Be
God is
there
calling
for
you to
my
do
marriage.
that, do you then still let the children go? That will
To
mean
the family?
right.
No.
Exactly. So that means now that nobody,
Right.
that now the grandparents are not seeing the grandchildren. So
Because it's important on who we choose. Because this could be a ripple effect for everybody. You
Right.
have to, at the end of the day, choose your spouse. Y'all became one. Y'all had a covenant together. We take covenants serious. We don't break those.
right.
And you just, once you start compromising on vows and you start using this instant to pick your family, then another instance to pick your spouse, now you're double-minded and you all over the place.
That's about a bunch of confusion,
All
right?
You have to choose your spouse and pray that you pick the right spouse. But no way we're talking about you to accept abuse from nobody. Right. Find wise counseling. Find some type of counseling for your marriage. Work through your problems. And if they're still acting up, set up boundaries. Separate. But yeah, choose your spouse. Have a conversation about stuff that is may bothering them. Hey, why are you treating my family? Talk about this. Do not sweep it under the rug. Act like it's nothing. And the next gathering, everything should be fine.
Right. And again, it goes back to just that dating stage. It always goes back to even before marriage.
Right.
You can avoid a lot of this by not overlooking red flags or not addressing anything in the dating stage or getting to know somebody's stage, meeting someone's family stage. If you see some red flags, maybe you need to discuss it with your spouse at the time, the person you're dating or whatever. And if they are not bringing it up to their family members, or if they did bring it up and nothing has changed, you need to really take into consideration that this is how it's going to be once you get married. I don't know why people think people just gonna fall to their knees and worship you, or I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, oh, y'all got married, everything is gonna change. No, it usually get worse.
Yes, this is one of the biggest problems in-laws will be in separating or divorce. I'm pretty sure that's why some people got a divorce. It's probably in-laws or that issue with family or whatever. That's why people got divorced.
Right. And a lot of people don't talk about the children because, again, I will say this again. If people are going to choose their child over their spouse, over the covenant, over the covenant, over the marriage. I'm not just talking about boyfriend, girlfriend type of thing. Marriage. Right. You should not be getting married. Stay single. If you know that you are not going to choose your husband or wife over your children, if that time comes, if that situation happens.
You just brought up a good point. I don't know if I want to put in this video or talk about it.
No, go ahead. We got 6 minutes.
Is when the spouse is being disrespectful to the child.
That's a whole nother video.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We can't even give y'all proper information or talk about this because that is a longer video to go over. Because that's a big issue
that's
too.
Still 2 parts. When the child is disrespectful to the spouse.
Yeah. So we're just going to stick to the spouse being disrespectful to your family member, whoever, brother, cousin, sister, whoever. Always try to have a loving and an open conversation about it. It's not going to go well, probably. It's going to go heated. It's going to be a heated conversation. It's going to be like, you choosing them on me. You see what they doing, but what am I doing? I mean, what are they doing to me? You see what I'm doing to them? They did something first.
Yeah. It's going to always be like that because people have their own points of views and some people are more delusional than others. But I'm just saying because
Don't
people
say that in
believe
the
stuff.
marriage. Don't say that in the marriage. Like, you be a delusion.
No. I'm talking about on the family side with
Right.
the spouse. The spouse feels like they treat me differently. They treat me some type of way, and that spouse might be delusional. Your family is just normal. You know what I mean? It could go either way. And it's just a big mess, especially with a blended family. I'm just keep bringing up the blended families because a lot of the blended families that we have encountered are no longer together. They are all divorced. Every blended family we know, besides one.
Right.
So,
or you can try to set up, I don't know if I said this, set up a meeting between the spouse and the family to try to work through problems if it's safe to do so. That's not safe, then don't do that part.
but I think that you should not wait until it get to a point where it's not safe.
Yeah.
Again, addressing things at the beginning, even little small things,
subtle, smart remarks.
The tone, the attitude,
or if you tell them your in-laws coming or we about to hang out and they say, they say anything that's slight, that anything you feeling in the spirit that's not right with you, address it. Just bring it up and have a conversation.
And
hey,
for
what's
those
wrong?
and for those who have discernment, you just gonna know. The person ain't even gonna have to say nothing. You just gonna discern what's going on, and you need to address that thing. You need to address that demonic influence that's trying to divide the family, because that's what it is.
And of course, after this is all said and done, after the fight, you have separated your spouse and your family and you're no longer talking to them, of course it's gonna hurt. You're gonna go through the grieving process of that. And I pray that you can make it through it, that God will give you more wisdom, that your marriage can survive and work through this issue, that your spouse can realize they can repent of what they're doing to the family, and y'all can come together. But it might not happen, and you have to understand that. Understand who's God calling you to reconcile with your marriage and fix on your marriage first, not fix your family. That's secondary. Your marriage should be first. Because if you choose your family, you're not going to have a marriage. Or like we said before, you're going to be suffering. Somebody's going to be suffering.
Somebody made a good...
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. So somebody made a good point, too, and they said, well, what if you cut off all of your family members and then your divorce doesn't survive? Again, it goes back to choosing the right person.
Yeah.
That person who's bearing the fruits of the Spirit. The person that you could see is walking with Christ. You actually see Christ in this person. It's possible. I don't know why people keep wanting to say we all fall short and we all... Okay, that's good. We falling short. You shouldn't be in a relationship if you still falling short. I'm serious though. I'm serious. You should not be trying to add somebody on or take more responsibility upon yourself as a man or a woman, adding more onto you when you still falling short yourself in certain ways. Right. If you still falling short with lust, if you still falling short lying here and there, deceiving people, manipulation. If you still going through that battle, you should not trying to get married to somebody in the covenant and now they battling your demons for you with you. No. You need to have yourself together.
I do want to say, I do hope that marriage is not easy. We say marriage is not a game. It's not nowhere near easy as it, we portray it at Disney movies and all this love story. Like it's just gonna be just rainbows and butterflies all day. If you do, at the end of the day, get divorced, God's gonna understand that you put an effort in, you tried, that you didn't just give up in the beginning, that you made an effort to save your marriage and you did everything in your power to try to make it work.
Right.
So I know somebody could say, well, what happened if I... Then
somebody
you did everything. You did everything you could.
Like somebody commented back like they wouldn't be family if they not there for you. I was cracking up. But I mean, right, your family, you want to brag so much about your family, they will still be there for you if that happens. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. You're making you have foundation in your principles. I know it's like the what if. Your principle is, I made a vow, I made a covenant, and I'm going to stick to that no matter what happens. I believe this is what God's calling me. This is God's telling me to do. And I feel like that. Like,
right. But everybody should be thinking this way before marriage.
Right.
Don't wait until you get into a marriage and then start thinking, what if this don't work out? If you
Right.
already have those doubts,
Yeah.
again, this is why you go to coaching, counseling, premarital, whatever you need to do
Yes,
before you
yes.
get married, before you make that commitment. You need to have wise counsel around you. Stop asking your parents. Stop asking other people that's filling you with negativity.
Yes.
People that don't even like the spouse you with. You going to them asking you, should you do it? You already know the answer. So again, if you need to be around wise counsel, and I just want to point this out, just because people are older does not mean they're wise.
Old fools out there. This is old fools out there immediately. Please, too, forgot. If y'all gonna have a conversation, just be open-minded and loving about the conversation. But y'all know what it is. That's it, y'all. That's all we got.
Well, hold on.
Oh, my
I
bad,
just
my
want to
bad.
say, too, because I want to add on what you said, right? You always want to go into the conversation with an open heart and open mind. And it's easier said than done to listen to someone, because I have a hard time listening to people that's just,
Right.
it's a lie.
Right.
If they believe in a lie, that's on them. But I ain't going to sit here and believe the lie with you. So it's hard for those people out there that may have that sit down conversation and somebody just flat out lying on them. Like that's very hard to just sit through it as if this is not a lie. You know what I mean? So.
All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. We love y'all. Get out of here.
You silly.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Allen&Eve here to help you believe.
That marriage is not a game.
Talk to him, girl.